Hello, everyone in Uganda and around the world. David Morgan here, and I was the project manager for the Gender and Youth Integration on MAPD. Looking over the past 5 years in terms of key successes that we had in terms of gender and youth integration, there really are two things that come first and foremost to mind. And the first success, I think, was when we started providing gender and youth sensitive malaria and pregnancy services in Kayunga. And the purpose of this activity was to increase ANC attendance and MIP service uptake amongst pregnant women and especially adolescent girls. An example of what we did through this activity is one time we conducted community dialogues with over 100 people to increase awareness around early and continuous ANC services, encourage support to pregnant adolescents by giving them a second chance, and also supporting them to access ANC and MIP services. And not only did this pilot actually increase ANC in attendance, MIP service uptake amongst pregnant women and adolescent girls, but health workers and VHTs had actually made some pretty significant changes to their actual service provision. For example, they started separating pregnant adolescents from other pregnant women during ANC services. They increased the number of dedicated ANC days with one day specifically for pregnant adolescents. And they also increased the involvement of men in ANC counseling and examinations. And I think those types of changes are the types of changes any practitioner looks for long-term sustainability and changes in services. The second success that I think is really worth talking about is Vijana Leo. And Vijana Leo was MAPD's flagship youth activity. And what Vijana Leo was it was a community-based malaria youth activity in Yumbe that used all four domains of the Positive Youth Development Framework, which includes agency, assets, contribution, and enabling environment. And through Vijana Leo, we had selected and trained 23 youth champions, including males and females, whose capacity had drastically increased over the life of project. And those youth really and truly ended up being key actors and influencers in these malaria activities. And over time, these youth champions had designed and implemented their own malaria prevention activities, which included community dialogues on malaria, malaria sessions during football tournaments. They had done home visits on net use and prevention services. They would host malaria talks at boreholes, and they would give these net use demonstrations as examples of some of these activities that they had thought of and that they had designed. And these activities resulted in several things, including adoption of effective malaria practices at the household level, which includes net use amongst boys and girls, proper drug use for malaria prevention. A big one was reduction in myths and misconceptions on malaria transmission and how one gets malaria. And it generally increased the prevention and treatment, not only amongst those youth, but also their peers. And the most important reason why this was successful is not only because it decreased malaria in Yumbe, but it enabled and it empowered the youth champions through the process itself, which is really a key thing that any youth development practitioner looks for. Anyways, those are the two key successes that I wanted to communicate to everyone on this call. And I hope these types of successes can be replicated in the future.